Hi everybody, hope you're well. I wanted to do an update video based upon the last video that I put together, which was the video where we announced we're stopping our holiday videos. Lots of people gave lots of comments, lots of suggestions, lots of feedback, and this video I want to address some of the points that were raised, because actually there are some great suggestions and great points and great things to think about raised from you guys. So I wanted to spend some time go through that today with you. I'll also give you an update as to what's going on with us at home, what's going on with the caravan, because there's a few things which are not quite right, and also just give you a general life update from us to you. So press pause now, grab yourself a cup of tea, and then we'll crack on and we'll go through some of the feedback from the last video. I announced that we're going to stop our holiday videos, and there was a lot of people that commented, and in fact the video was very, very popular, and it confirmed some of my suspicions. In fact, I had a lot of private messages from other creators. There was a lot of people that commented and gave suggestions on things that we could do to improve the experience, and also how to separate our videos out. And one of those suggestions was to create a second channel. Now, I said in a lot of the comments, I announced that we're not going to do that. And that is the case. We are not going to do a second channel. And the reason for that is there is already a second channel. I already have a second YouTube channel, which the vast majority of you will not be aware of, because I don't publicly talk about it on here. There is a couple of videos where I mention it and give the link to it, but by and large, it's a channel that just doesn't interest the vast majority of you. It's called Coldest Moon, and it's basically an insight into whatever I'm doing at the time, be it restoring retro games, be it fiddling around with amateur radio, talk about electronics, doing whatever. It's down to whatever is interesting me at the time, and I think that that's a good bit of content. The channel hasn't had an update for a very long time because I just don't have the time. This channel actually does suck a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of money as well into getting the content out to you guys. It's actually quite a big behemoth. So providing a second channel is not something that I personally can sustain. The suggestion was that we could separate our holiday videos out onto a second channel. And I'll be honest with you, if I was to create that channel, I would guarantee the vast majority of you would not subscribe to it. I know that there's a lot of comments of people who say, would love to subscribe to a holiday only channel. I don't think you would. And I don't think it would be something that would be sustainable. I think it would have all the effort and all the intention to start off and be great, but actually maintaining it and producing quality content would very quickly die off. Because to make it worthwhile, and I'm going to touch on this in a minute, why it would need constant updates, but to do that would require an awful lot of effort. And quite frankly, we're boring people. We don't do that much when we're on holiday. We don't do that much when we're away. And creating that channel would die very quickly, I think. Or this one would suffer and that one would get all the effort. So we're not going to do a second channel. And I know lots of you are crying out for it. It's just not going to happen. By the way, if you want to subscribe to Coldest Moon, link is down in the description. There's no content up there anytime soon. Well, there might be when I'm in the mood for it. The second point that a lot of people have mentioned is that YouTube has quite the part to play in this problem. Let me paint to you a picture of what the current algorithm, the current build of the algorithm seems to be doing. Currently, YouTube is favouring drama. So let me give you a really good example, a real-time example. I put a video up of our holiday videos, and it did not perform as expected. Now, when YouTube sees a video that doesn't perform, it doesn't recommend that video. It just let it stagnate. It doesn't let it flourish. It doesn't promote it to people. It doesn't send out recommendations. It doesn't send out the notification that I've uploaded a video. And all that happens within the first hour. So what happens is I put a video out at a time when you're at work, you're asleep, whatever, in between Coronation Street, and people are not really engaging in it. It flops in that first hour. YouTube doesn't promote it. And then this is the beginning of the positive feedback loop that we see where a channel starts to die. YouTube doesn't promote it, it stagnates, it doesn't perform, it flops. The next video goes out, does exactly the same thing, but the effect is worse because fewer people are being notified. And so what happens is your channel then steadily suddenly dies. When you put out a video of clickbaity, drama-based content, let's say that last one that I did, that seems a lot of interaction, a lot of traction. YouTube likes that, and it promotes it to all the people that have clicked the little shiny bell. That then is becoming a popular video. More people are notified, more people are into, are given the insight that I've uploaded a video. That goes the other way, positive feedback loop, that actually there's something going on. There's an up and rising YouTuber. That's the two halves of the algorithm. Right now, YouTube favours drama. If I was to put out a very lovely, calming, relaxing video of nothing more consequential of us hitching up, heading off and arriving on a campsite, YouTube doesn't see that as exciting and engaging. It will promote something where there's drama, where there's controversy or what have you. Now, the third and final thing I want to talk about is people suggested, okay, so do your holiday videos, but don't do them all the time. And that was something that we tried to do a couple of years ago, that we only had a couple of holiday videos per year. I say a couple, we only went away a couple of times that we involved you with. That might be the thing that we do in the future, because there are a couple of videos that I do want to film because of where we're going. But I do need to ask you the question. I want you to answer it down below in the comments. I've got a couple of videos that I do want to share with you. It's the last part of our it's the fourth part of our 2-week tour. And also there's a video that I put together which we went to Cotswold View with Chloe and her partner, and we had a lovely long weekend there. Those two videos I want to share with you. I want to know from you if you want to see them. Put a yes or a no down below, and we'll see if we can cobble those together and push them out. They're not going to be eventful, they're not going to be drama, so they'll probably be quashed by the YouTube gods, no doubt. But let me know if you want to see them, and I'll do something about it. We went away for 3 separate holidays. Nowhere far, nowhere exotic, nowhere special. We went to Burford, we went to Tewkesbury, and we went to Worcester. And that was it. The reason why we didn't go far away from home is that Angela couldn't get the entire time off work. Because of her job and her commitments, she could only get half the weeks off that we were actually away. So that meant that we had to bring Angela back home so she could continue her job. But it meant that we could go away and we could just use a couple of days here and there off her leave and then spread it over a longer period. It was quite good, in fact, because we could break her holidays up and use the minimal amount of annual leave. Anyway, in a couple of weeks' time, we go away again, but I'll come back to that in a minute. We didn't do anything when we were away. We did absolutely nothing. We went for walks, we ate well, we enjoyed each other's company. Angela read a couple of books, I read a book. We did very, very little. So I'm glad I didn't film it, because you would have been bored stiff with those videos. Trust me, nothing happened, nothing exotic. And even if I was to push those out, they'd be quashed by YouTube gods anyway, because guess what? They're not full of drama. So that's where we've been. Now, going into September, we're going to be busy once again. In a couple of weeks, week after next, we go away for 10 days to Pembury Country Park, and we're going away for quite a long time, and we're really looking forward to that one. We want to go to the seaside, and that one seems absolutely spot on, absolutely perfect for us. Really excited to go there. Now, at the end of the month, rather exciting, I can't tell you what it is, but I've already signed the contract, and there is something that I'm doing at the end of the month and into October, the results of which you'll see at the NEC. And that's all I can tell you at the moment. That's frustrating, isn't it? When we were away in August at Burford, we had what we now know as the summer. It was 4 days of blisteringly hot weather, and we highlighted a couple of problems here in the caravan. Using this air conditioning unit here was absolutely superb. It was our first attempt at using it in anger to make sure it was, whether it was going to do its job. And I will say that this is absolutely fantastic. A lot better than the previous version we had. Even though the volume of air here in the caravan is much greater, it was able to cool it down quickly, and it was very, very, very nice and comfortable temperatures here inside. Gave us an idea of what we need to do going forward, including closing the blinds up. We'll come back to the blinds in a minute. But we did notice a problem. Here in the caravan, our control panel is here, just above the kitchen. And this is an older boiler type. This is an Alder 3020. And that means I can plug in my iNet system into the boiler and the air conditioning. And it means that we can take the option of using the automatic climate control here on this panel. It's called the ACC button. You press it, you set the temperature, and then it works out whether it needs to heat or it needs to use the air conditioning to maintain that air balance. When we were parked up, the sun was on this side of the caravan and it was heating up the rear of our control panel, and that meant that the temperature would never go down. At sometimes the temperature was 32 degrees, even though inside it was freezing. And the temperature obviously was pointing at the back of the caravan, where the caravan was getting warming the insulation and everything was getting hot. And it was below 15 degrees at some point. The caravan still thought it was above 30 degrees, and that produced a bit of an issue. I know that I need to move the sensor, and I've bought the discrete sensor. It's over there, and I'm going to move the sensor from the control panel and put it somewhere else. And I've had questions already on Instagram of people who are interested to know where I'm going to put that sensor, and that'll be coming out in a video in a couple of weeks. Whilst I was buying that sensor, I also bought the external one as well, which plugs into the boiler and goes outside underneath, bolted to the floor. I don't think it has any purpose other than letting me know what the temperature is outside. But again, that'll be another video coming out in the future. Now, the other thing, this is quite a crazy one, the other fault we have with the caravan is quite ironic, actually. At the beginning of the year, I booked this caravan in to have the blinds replaced. It's a big old job. We've got the original blinds here that don't have the fly screens in them, and I booked it in to have those replaced at my cost. It was something that Bailey were offering. I just needed to get in the queue and wait in line for it to happen. If you had a problem with the blinds, Bailey were acknowledging that it was a warranty item and you could have the blinds put in there at their cost. But I decided, because our blinds were absolutely fine, it'd be at my cost and I'll do it and I'll get it booked in. I had a letter through about 5 weeks ago to say, your blinds are in. Would you like to come over and get them fitted? We'll get them fitted in the second week of September. Thought, fantastic, we can have those in place before we go away again, no problems at all. And then 2 days after receiving that letter, the blinds broke. Fantastically. I had a notification on the alarm that something had moved inside the caravan, and when we came up we found that the blinds had actually split, and the bottom blind itself now will not go back in place. It's at a funny angle. In fact, you have to use bulldog clips to hold it in place, which is quite funny actually, because one evening whilst we were away, I was stood here absolutely bollock naked and the blind decided to fall down. I don't know if anybody saw little Dan, but anyway, so apologies for that. So yeah, so we've got those now being replaced next week. I'm just negotiating whether it is at my cost still or whether it is at now the cost of Bailey, but I'll let you know what that's like. I had intended to film the entire process because it's not a small job. The whole cartridge needs to be changed. So that's the surround to the blinds, the blinds either side. The whole lot has to be taken out and replaced because it's a different manufacturer, different design. So it's not an easy job. I'll see if I can film it, but the chances are I probably won't be able to. But rest assured, it's not a small job. But that will be happening next week. One other fault that we have with the caravan, and this one has been driving me nuts since the day we've had the van, in fact, is that every 5 to 10 minutes, the water pump comes on and goes off. Now, I know that some of you, and some clever ones of you out there, will say, well, it just needs the pressure switch adjusting. And I have spent about half an hour each and every time we've been away in the caravan adjusting the pressure switch. It's made absolutely no difference. I thought at one point it was a leaky tap because this one kept dribbling, so I had the tap replaced. It's made no difference. So I've bought a couple of things online to help us fix those issues. I've bought the Wastemaster IC upgrade kit, which is this little yellow box, fits on the back of the pump. And also I have a suspicion that the one-way valve is split or broken, or a little bit broken, so I've bought that kit as well. Now, if these don't solve my problem, I'm not that bothered, because in actual fact these are jobs which you can do yourself, and I'm going to show you how they work and how you install them. So that would be 2 videos coming out there. So anyway, so that's it from me, but I just want to say a final message. It is September. It is Tuesday the 3rd of September. And this morning I received some really sad news. My mother passed away this morning. It's been on the cards for some time. I went down there last week with my brother to see her and to say our goodbyes, because I knew I wasn't going to be able to make it back down there anytime soon. My brother and I actually, ironically, agreed to go back down tomorrow, being Wednesday, and we were going to spend the day down there with my stepdad as well. But sadly, not to be. So anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Please do hit the subscribe button, hit the notification icon. What good that will do, I don't know, because of YouTube. But anyway, until next time, many thanks for watching. Take care now. Bye-bye.